So I usually don't have a car with me, but every 2 weeks or so, I rent a car and I run all of the errands that I need to. Usually something like groceries or any bank, doctor's appointments, things like that. I try to do them all together. Checking out was actually the most complicated part of this whole trip. I'd gone to the counter when I first got there to see if I could use my glass jar. Typically, when you go to a place that has bulk sections, they have a tar where you can weigh the jar empty and then you subtract what it weighs with the contents inside. Well, at Wegmans, the particular person that was there didn't know how to tar, and so they were like, we don't really know how we're gonna accommodate for that. So that was a little bit of a snag in my plans, but you can see that I have the bulk bags there. There were no issues. The only thing is that when I weighed them, they came with a sticker that had not only the weight but also the price in order for it to be scanned. So although I was able to avoid using plastic, I still needed to use a sticker in order to actually pay for the items. For the most part, I didn't create a lot of trash, and I was pretty excited about that. That's actually a guy in the back who was bringing a paper bag as a solution. We talked about it earlier, so he came back to check. I even paid for my groceries with Apple Pay because I left my wallet in the car somehow. But yeah, these are all my groceries from Wegmans. Wegmans does a pretty good job of having bulk selection, so I was pretty happy with the things that I got there. Being carless in the city does wonders for your productivity. There were times when I had a car that I would just hop in the car for no reason and just go around driving. And I would usually end up at a grocery store or at the mall or somewhere. And I would just go in the store because I was already in the car, and I would just spend money for no reason. When you don't have a car, you don't have that luxury. So it actually curbs all that random spending that you typically would do. So now I have to be very intentional with using the public transportation that's available to me in the city and by Syracuse University. So I take advantage of the shuttle that goes to campus every morning. The campus shuttle comes like clockwork on the dot. You cannot be late. So there are many times where even now I'm running to the bus stop just because I didn't manage my time wisely in the morning. So I have an alarm on my phone so that I even know when to leave my house. I've clocked the commute. The commute is about 30 minutes either way. 30 minutes if I walk, or 30 minutes if I take the shuttle. The shuttle is just a little bit longer because they take all the different neighborhood routes so they can pick up everybody. When the summer weather is here, I love to just take a good walk, put in my headphones and listen to a really good podcast or an audiobook on the way to work. And I get to my office right before the workday begins. I have like 15 minutes or so to gather myself. Same thing with going home at the end of the day. The bus right after the workday gives me a few minutes to gather myself once again, and then there's a bus that comes. So I pretty much have a stable routine. Go to work in the morning. On the weekends, I might do a farmer's market. Even the farmer's market, there is a public bus that goes there. So I'm constantly thinking to myself, do I need a car? I really would like a car because of the convenience of it all. But as far as expense goes, getting a rental car about 2 times a month, if necessary, isn't the end of the world. And we now have Uber in Syracuse. Can you believe there was no Uber up until earlier this summer? When Uber came, people were so excited. And because we have a new Uber city, the drivers are actually still really pumped to be driving Uber and Lyft. So you meet a lot of really interesting people while you're driving or riding in an Uber. Syracuse is like a 20-minute city. Basically, everywhere that you need to go, you can get there within 15 to 20 minutes. A round trip to and fro to different locations in Syracuse costs about $14 or so, unless we're talking about a peak time. Even going to the airport is about $26. You could have easily paid that by leaving your car in the airport in parking. I am either at work or I'm at church. I'm literally at church 3 times a week. Like it's a lot. It's like a part-time job. So I'm at church a lot, and I find that not having a car, it's fine. Even in social situations, I can Uber to a place if I need to. Now that the winter is coming, I don't even like driving. Can I just be honest about that? I don't even like driving, so not having a car for me is not that catastrophic. It's not that catastrophic. If I can get in the car of somebody else who is competently driving in the snow and it's not me, I'm really okay with that. So every time I'm like, God, should I get a car or should I wait and pay off student loans and things like that? I'm constantly having to shift my priorities because the city has made it very easy for me to be without a car. Mostly because of the generosity of people. I have to be very upfront about that. People are very kind. The ones that I've met, especially people from church and people from work, who are very open and have really enveloped me with open arms like a second family. So I feel very taken care of in Syracuse. So that's what it's like to be carless in the city of Syracuse. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.